This is just a sneak peek to one of my tests to recreate that "this is fine" meme for real. Now usually you would follow in the footsteps of professional stuntmen that cover themselves in layers of fire-resistant materials, but that's if they want to burn for extended periods of time. A butane air mixture only burns for a second or two, so it's nowhere near as problematic and doesn't require as much equipment to be worn. Now obviously don't try this at home, this is for science. My first idea was to pop balloons filled with butane gas to make a big fireball, but this was more difficult than I thought. It's a very dumb idea. I hate popping balloons, I hate that. I'll get there eventually, don't worry. 3, 2, 1. This is like the most scared anyone's probably seen it. It seems I'm totally comfortable with pouring straight gasoline onto a magnesium fire, but I'm scared to pop a tiny balloon. After several attempts, I just couldn't get this to work. I also tried compressing the butane into an air cannon, but that also barely worked at all. It barely did anything. So my best idea was this. I'm gonna fill up this beaker full of butane, and then just pour it out, because it's heavier than air. Oh yeah. This is filled up with butane. I probably don't have too much time before air starts getting in and it becomes an explosive mixture. So I'm just gonna pour it on this flame here. Technically, I should be able to just pull this out. Holy shit! Yeah, I did! It worked! Whoa, that was so much cooler than the balloon. Okay, that's definitely what I'm gonna be doing. This gas is usually invisible, so for demonstration purposes, I'll color the invisible vapors red by mixing in liquid bromine. We've now made bromine flammable. But most importantly, you can see the flammable vapors of what I'm now calling butane slowly traveling down. It takes a second or two to travel down before it can be ignited, which means it might give me enough time to pose for the meme before everything lights up on fire. And just to make this even more exciting, I want all the fire to be in slow motion like I've done with the butane. So back to regular butane, I was going to try this method again, but I may have accidentally misjudged how far butane travels along the ground. This was fine though, because the fire doesn't exist for long enough to cause a problem, and I started playing with it. Oh man, that's not good. It's just a free split end treatment. Now you don't need to worry about explosions with butane gas. A detonation is when a chemical reaction, or the flame of that chemical reaction, travels faster than the speed of sound. But burning butane in air creates a subsonic burn, meaning it's too slow to create a shockwave. The main danger is fire, but since it's only there for half a second, not even that, it should be fine. This is why I feel so comfortable around burning butane in ventilated spaces. But for safety reasons, I still need to do some tests in my, professional environment. However, I need to be comfortable getting even closer to the flames, basically touching, and also figure out how to protect my hair, legs, and just me in general. Well, it seems my lab coat solves most of the problem for me. My lab coat is fireproof. I don't feel a thing. And for my legs, I'll use jeans. But now, the worst part, my face and beard. Now, I don't have fire-resistant material, but I do have aloe vera gel. Apparently this can be useful, apparently. So I slathered this stuff all over my beard, tested it with a small lighter, and even though it kinda worked... Oh? It kinda burns it, but not really. I determined this to be a terrible idea and washed it all off. Actually, that's all I need to do. Just wash my entire face in water and cover it with a face shield. Here, you have some too. I know looking unprotected would look better for the meme, but I don't think I'd like losing my eyebrows. Now I was ready for my first test around my legs to see how it looks in slow motion. Try not to get too scared. The idea of this shot is that I want it to look like I'm trying to light a candle, but instead it magically just has fire going in every direction and travels up my jeans. 3, 2, 1. That wasn't as bad as I thought it would be, but this fire can easily get my leg hair. So I doused my legs in water too, and now I'm ready for another test. Looking back at the footage, it looked cool, but it didn't really like go up my legs or anything, which is what I wanted to do next. It actually started to look kinda cool. Now because the final meme is going to be very challenging, I need to practice my poses and acting while there's flames around. So I asked you guys what different poses I should try, and this is what you all said. This comment wants me to be in the dark and have a cool backlight. Well, it's daytime and I'm impatient, so I need to cover the roof of my shed to prevent light leaking through. I should block out the light. Hopefully this should help the flames be so much more visible. So I have everything set up. You can see my candle down there. I've wet my hair, I've wet my pants a lot. Anyway, see how this goes. But wait, there's a secret I've been hiding from you and I haven't told you yet. We have merch! Check it out. New logo, new design. This is a navy blue shirt with the Mr. Green Guy logo, and on the back there's a Mr. Green Guy. We have a few different colored shirts on my website, mrgreenguy.com, including this mug here. If you want to buy this stuff yourself, just go to mrgreenguy.com or click on the link in the description below. But yeah, back to the fire. Now with a candle underneath my chair, this looks at least okay. Once again, I tried several times to get this to work, and that means so much fire and so much butane used. It's especially scary when I dump all the butane vapors and it just doesn't ignite. Fuck. Scary, right? Now, because in the original meme the dog is smiling, I decided I should practice smiling during the whole ordeal too, but in a more goofy and silly way. Oh yeah! I'm just like... I'm still just smiling. I smiled for way too long. Now my favorite suggestion is that I should look at a screen that says your video is demonetized on it. I'm thinking of just like using my phone instead of a laptop, and I'll do the same thing I was doing earlier, but this time with my phone out like this. Let's see how that goes. And this is how the attempts went. Now I'm gonna get a shot that's like a close-up of what I'm looking at. I tried multiple angles and did many attempts to get this right, but here is the final result of the clips put together. Okay, I think I'm ready for the grand finale. This is fine, but for real. Using the same chair and this old wooden circle thing, this should look similar enough as my backyard fence is already a similar color. So I just need to add some black outlines for the artwork to look similar. I found this sticky black plastic that's meant for DIY chalkboards, so I'm going to use it as though it's ink on the background. This is the door being put together, then the mirror, and finally the black smoke on the ceiling. Have the high-speed camera here. Have my little setup. I think it still resembles the meme despite being very janky. After sitting in my chair, I think this looks ready for replicating the scariest part, the fire. I prepared 2 candles next to my feet, and I want there to be actual fire surrounding me, not paper cutouts. So to make this work, I've given myself the very difficult task of pouring gasoline around me in the same places that are seen in the meme. Then I'll try to ignite the gasoline with the butane fireball so it all ignites at the same time. At least that's the idea. And I do have precautions in place as always, and nothing around here is flammable. Before I do everything in one go though, I need to know how much gasoline to spill to make a really cool spot of fire. Okay, it wasn't enough, so I'm going for half of whatever this is. Hopefully it does something cool. After a few more tests, I found that I needed to spill around 200 milliliters of gasoline on each side of me to look good. That's a lot of gasoline. After getting everything prepared, including my beaker of butane, I started spilling the gasoline on the sides. I'm not confident the butane fireball will even reach the gasoline, so just to make sure, I also sprayed a small gasoline trail on either side too, to give it like a little path. Now, this is it. It actually fucking worked. I'm surprised my plan worked at all, and the only problem was that my sign was waving around and my hand holding the beaker was still moving, and that's kinda distracting. So I need to do this again. A second attempt. Okay, let's go for it. Now on my second attempt, I had an unexpected start. Either way, this still looked cool, and despite the sign waving around, I think this slow-mo shot looks much better compared to the last one that was further away. I wanted this to work properly, so I tried it a third time, which somehow went even worse. The gasoline ignited while I was still pouring, so it ignited in the beaker. I sprayed it all over the table, knocking over my sign and completely burning it, and the rest of my gasoline spilled out in front. Fuck, it's really hot though. I thought this would be the end of my attempts, but I remembered I printed a spare sign in case this happened. It's a little bit more difficult than I thought. On my 4th attempt, the gasoline ignited by the candles prematurely again, but at least I was more prepared this time. The sign was also held more securely by a stick so it doesn't flap around, but I noticed my butane isn't really doing anything at all. The flames are creating wind that seems to blow away the butane vapor before it reaches the ground, so that means it's really important that the gasoline doesn't ignite first. It kind of ruins the show. Despite this looking cool, I still wasn't really happy with this, so for my 5th attempt, I changed literally nothing, and just hoped I would be lucky. Despite doing this so many times already, I could feel my heart rate was really high, so I took a moment to breathe in and calm down before beginning. Let's see if I can get this shot right. Okay, it didn't really work the way I wanted, but I think I'm done breathing all this smoke in. After 5 attempts and probably about 2 liters of gasoline, I think I've got enough usable footage. And weirdly enough, despite burning some hairs, I never actually got any burn injuries at all throughout this video or even developed a cough in all this smoke. So I marked the end of this experiment by sacrificing my speech bubble. And finally, this is the result of everything put together for the meme brought to life. Thanks to all my Patreon supporters for making these videos possible. If you want to become a Patreon supporter and see my videos early, or have your name in the end of my videos, I've put a link in the description. If you just want to see more of these videos when they come out on YouTube, make sure to hit the notification bell. Again, thanks for watching, and I hope you have a good day.